Going on? Sitting here downtown, frickin' Davison. It's looking pretty frickin' like lots of traffic. People going in and out of stores. I mean, last night, what I heard, man, word on the street, they're shutting down the pub, man, for 3 weeks or 3 months or something like that, man. It's not pleasant. But, yeah, man, it's like, dude, I'm not afraid of getting sick or anything, man. It's like, I'm more afraid of being stuck with people for fucking 3 months, man. And listen, that's like a recipe to hate somebody that you don't necessarily want to hate, but if you can't get away from somebody, man, that, you know, maybe it's not that your worst enemies are best of friends or anything, but you just, you know, it's like you get on each other's freaking nerves, man, and it's like that is a recipe for, yeah, man, to destroy relationships. And I mean, and being isolated and then on quarantine lockdown, stuck somewhere where you can't leave, restricted movement, restricted freedom, that is a recipe for, like, look, well, it's like people in prison. When people are in prison, they start to become violent because it's environmental violence as opposed to just being violent because you're locked up with a bunch of angry, ornery, and sometimes real killers, you know what I'm saying, and like abuser types, you know what I'm saying, and same thing, man, some people have abusive relationships, you know what I'm saying, you'll be stuck with your abuser for fucking 3 weeks or 3 months or something like that, dude. This is just like they're punishing us, man, for our non-compliance with their frickin' eco-fascism. In a way, that's what I feel like this is, because it's funny, after they protested in China, then they all got put on house quarantine, and this one lady was like, there was this one lady who just spilled the beans and said it was all a con job, and they just had them like, no one knew what was going on. People are just hiding in their houses, just basically complying, and it was kind of like, you know, we're getting Blair Witch media pictures of this stuff that looks like scenes straight out of a freaking movie, like Outbreak or The Crazies. So it's not looking too good, man. All the kids are out, you know. There's freaking, this morning there's these dudes running around roughhousing, freaking making all kinds of noise, man. It's like, I know this isn't gonna go well. You know what I'm saying? We'll see. But it's like, man, dude, I am not really a homebody, man. I like to do my thing, man. So this is a very, very stressful kind of time frame here, and stuff that's going on, because it's like, hey, even though I'm not scared at all, dude, not scared of the sickness, but the people around, man, they're getting affected bad, and then by proxy I catch those funky vibes, man, off people, and then it's like their fear is almost like triggers my fear response, but I catch myself and I try to reground myself. But yeah, man, it's like, no, this thing is like really creeping its way into all aspects of life at this point. It's only been a few days, man, this thing's been going on, and it's already kind of like, it's looking pretty freaking bleak. And then watching people running around just freaking like chickens with their heads cut off is kind of irritant, man. Like, man, has this person got a freaking mask on? I mean, that freaking, look, dude, a fucking hospital mask is not gonna stop a fucking, look, some sickness pathogen, dude. So it's just like, these are all kind of like like comforts, like false comforts in a way, because they sparked up the hype. So now they got these kind of like, because it's making these kind of like, well, I gotta do it, so you have to do it, type of attitudes, where people are looking at you all funky, man. They're like, cause you sneeze, it's like, dude, I got freaking allergies, man. Or, you know, might have a little bit of a raspy cough and voice, man, but that's freaking smoker's cough, man. It's not no fucking virus. You know what I'm saying? But to some scared, panicky, like person who's all freaking doped up on the freaking fear porn that's coming out of the media, like, look, when people are this scared, fear can turn into anger and rage. And also, and look, when people are in a freaking desperation state, a fight or flight, everyone in desperation states is a narcissist. Like, look, when you are freaking, like, look, when you are afraid you're gonna die, you're only thinking about yourself or saving just you and your few people. And, but everyone else is the enemy. It's us versus them. I mean, look, dude, that is such a narcopathic reaction. And that's literally what they're trying to provoke out of us, is us to go into this kind of narcissistic, rage, panicky, desperate attempt to stay alive. But, I mean, there's really nothing going on out here, dude. There's no one's getting sick, falling over, dying. There's not a bunch of people coughing up blood. It's just, it looks to me like a bunch of, like, stressed out, triggered people running around. And I mean, it's like, look, dude, it's just FUBAR. It's definitely FUBAR. And it's like, look, it's not an accurate depiction of reality. Like right now, look, the streets aren't dead. Actually, it looks more bustling. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but they are up to something, man. It's like, it seems like they're gonna use this as a cover story to crash the economy and do the wealth redistribution thing, and, you know, sell up, look, buying up all the stocks for pennies on the dollar. I learned about that from my grandpa a long time ago, where he said they intentionally crashed the economy during the Great Depression so they could do that very thing, wealth redistribution. They basically pull out all their money in stocks, and then the regular old Joe who's playing along or whatever, these guys who've like invested all of their money into the game, well, these guys who control it secretly, this is basically insider trading. I mean, it's basically fraud, like big time, heavy duty, like, but anyway, they'll pull out their money, and then everyone else who's got their money in it loses the money, and then they just wait until the thing, you know, let everybody suffer for a few years, and then they come in like and pretend to fix it, but really all they just did was wealth redistribution, and they consolidated their power. You know, and it's like we're already seeing them setting us up for bread lines, like in communist countries. Like, look, we're in TP lines. I mean, I'm not personally, but people are. It's just really, this is a really jacked up manipulation con job, and it doesn't look like it's gonna get any freaking better. This looks like it's gonna keep getting more freaking. It's just gonna ratchet up from here until people start breaking. Because I mean, look, it ain't even really went down yet, and I already can tell by people's just their facial expressions and the way that they're out and about. I can tell that they're already cracking. Like, just with a little bit more coercion, you might actually like have these people have a catastrophic freaking failure. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're gonna have a catastrophic meltdown, and then that'll be a pretext to have some big brother savior to come in and tell you how to live and micromanage every aspect of your life for your own good. And it was all a con, a trick, because a few people, weak people who can't keep their shizzle together, are going to react in such a way that we're all going to be punished for it. Or these people might even be crisis actors. It might not even be a legit person. They'll just, I mean, that's the day and age we live in, where this is all like, this is all fun and games to them people, you know. But out here, it's real life. And now I'm catching all this weird freaking vibes, and they're trying to coerce us into doing what they say, but it's just to see if we'll listen. You know what I'm saying? And then it'll be kind of like gangs, you know, they police themselves. You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna use us against each other. They're gonna pretend to back out, you know what I'm saying, to close everything down, but that's not it. They'll just take all these people, and it's kind of like, all right, if you're a police officer, you work for a living, you get paid a check. Well, they'll cut your money, and you'll be like in the military. Like, look, the military gives you food, you got a cot to sleep on, and they loan you like a costume to wear and some guns to shoot people with. And but you don't get paid like regular people do. It's like you got to do way more for way less. But for some people, man, it works for them. But that's how they're going to freaking consolidate this thing. And it's like, you know, all you got to do is look at Rome, man. Rome got too big for its britches, and it fell apart. And that's what happens that's what's going to happen with the centralized government, is that it's like, look, tyranny is so tyrannical, it even tyrannizes itself. You can look at the mafia, and one boss will whack the next boss, or you know what I'm saying, or the new boss is going to whack the old boss, and then if anyone ain't down with it, they get whacked too. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes a couple people might just get whacked just cause. And in this situation, I can see a whole lot of whacking potentials here, like. Because they have like things that, like, they have a innumerable amount of excuses to blame it on. You know what I'm saying, in this situation, because they're so vague, and it doesn't make any freaking sense what they're doing. If you really sit and look at it and really analyze it, like really analyze it, other than Ordo Ab Chao, because they need the chaos to get us to comply and ask for a solution, which they already had a solution, like before this drill started in last October. But anyway, I'm out of here.